Chinedu was a small boy of 7, living in a village in Igbo land. He was an orphan, his mother lying beneath the red earth of the village cemetery. His father had remarried, and now Chinedu lived with his stepmother, a woman with a heart as hard as the stone. His stepmother doted on her own 2 children, Obinna, aged 8, and Ada, aged 6. They wore fine clothes, ate the best portions of food, and were showered with love. Chinedu, on the other hand, was treated like a servant. He did all the chores, sweeping, fetching water, washing clothes, and often went hungry, surviving on scraps left on the plates he washed. Whenever his heart ached with loneliness and unfairness, Chinedu would slip away to his mother's grave. Under the shade of the mango tree that grew there, he would sing his sad song. Whenever there is work, they will call the orphan. Whenever there are chores, they will call the orphan. Whenever there is food, they will send the orphan away. The orphan is really suffering. He would cry until his tears ran dry, then whisper stories to his mother, finding comfort in the quiet of her resting place. Years passed. Chinedu, despite his hardship, grew into a hardworking and resourceful young man. He used his intelligence and the little money he sometimes earned from helping neighbors to further his education. He was determined to make his mother proud. Obinna and Ada, however, grew up spoiled and lazy. They never learned the value of hard work, relying on their mother's pampering. When their mother fell ill and their father's business struggled, they were unprepared for the harsh realities of life. They squandered what little was left and eventually became street beggars, a stark contrast to their comfortable childhood. One day, Chinedu, now a successful businessman, returned to his village. He was no longer the thin, ragged orphan. He was dressed in fine clothes, and his face shone with success. He visited his mother's grave, and though his heart still held a touch of sadness, it was now filled mostly with gratitude. He learned of Obinna and Ada's plight and, remembering his own difficult past, felt compassion for them. He sought them out and, without mentioning their past unkindness, offered them work in his company. He gave them a chance to rebuild their lives. The villagers were astonished. They had expected Chinedu to scorn his step-siblings, but instead, he showed them kindness. They realized that true success wasn't just about wealth, but also about forgiveness and compassion. Chinedu's story became a legend in the village. It taught them that hard work, resilience, and kindness, even in the face of adversity, will ultimately be rewarded. And that true greatness lies not in revenge, but in extending a helping hand to those in need.
Whenever there is work, they will call the orphan. In the shadows he stands, never quite forgotten. His hands are rough, but his spirit shines bright. In this world alone, yet he fights the good fight. Whenever there are chores,